Well, after it had been almost a decade since we last saw him in Seed of Chucky, which was Chucky returned to his old roots. Let's talk about Curse of Chucky. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2013 supernatural slasher flick, Curse of Chucky, released by Universal 1440 Entertainment through the distribution of Universal Studios Home Entertainment. The film was directed by Don Mancini, who also wrote this as well and created the Child's Play franchise and wrote the first 7 films. And after he recently did hang on a second. Yes, after he recently directed the previous film, which tanked big time, Seed of Chucky, this time it brought Chucky back to his old school formula. Anyway, now first of all, if you haven't seen my reviews of the other Chucky films, I advise you to click on the card coming up right about now and catch what you might have missed, or see them again if you'd like before you go into this review. Now this film got released on video on demand in September, and then in late September, and then early the following month on physical media. Now, it did get shown in theaters in several countries, though, like Brazil. But anyway, they decided to release it in direct-to-video and what have you. So, anyway, let's get into the story. First of all, in 2013, 25 years after the first film and 9 years after the 5th film, a good guy's doll calling itself Chucky mysteriously arrives in the mail at the home of paraplegic Nika Pierce and her mother Sarah. They live in an isolated house in a bad state of repair. Sarah is shown repeatedly painting pictures of the same flowers. Later that night, Sarah is found dead from a stab wound, and her death is ruled as a suicide. Later, Nika is visited by her sister Barb, accompanied by her husband Ian, their daughter Alice, live-in nanny Jill, and father Frank. Alice finds Chucky and is allowed to keep him. That evening, while Alice and Nika are making chili, Chucky secretly pours rat poison into one of the dinner bowls. Father Frank eats the poison, and after he leaves, he gets sick and ends up in a car accident that decapitates him. Officer Stanton later arrives to see the body, and that night Nika wonders where the doll came from and calls the package tracking center and is informed that it came from an evidence depository. She investigates Chucky on the internet and finds news articles about the murders tied to both the doll and Chucky himself, better known as Charles Lee Ray. Elsewhere, Chucky comes to life again and kicks a bucket of rainwater onto the floor's power outlets, electrocuting Jill and causing a blackout. Barb gets up to search for Alice as she goes to the attic, clutching Chucky all the time, and finds Sarah's large collection of paintings of the same flower. She finds a large knife inside Chucky's shirt and peels some of Chucky's fake skin, revealing the stitches created by his ex-girlfriend Tiffany in Bride of Chucky. Chucky springs to life and stabs her in the eye with a kitchen knife. Yikes! Nika hears Barb scream, but has to crawl up the stairs. Once upstairs, Nika discovers that Barb is dead and Chucky is alive. When Chucky flees, Nika wakes Ian up in a panic. Ian takes Nika to the garage, but is unable to find Alice. He disarms Nika, foolishly believing her to be responsible for the murders. Nika tries to explain that Chucky is alive, but Chucky acts like a lifeless doll when Ian looks at him. Ian decides to review the footage from a hidden camera that he planted on Chucky earlier to get evidence of Barb's affair with Jill, which that is kind of one of the odd aspects. Kind of a slight little downside I have. I mean, I'll explain why later if I feel like it, and learns that Alice is locked in a closet and that Chucky truly is alive. Exposed, Chucky kills Ian by chopping off his lower jaw with a hatchet before he can act. Nika manages to break out of her restraints and avoids an axe to the chest by blocking it with her numb legs. The axe gets stuck, allowing Nika to stun Chucky into dropping the axe, and she pulls it out of her legs and beheads him. As Nika tries to cover her wound, Chucky reattaches his head as her attention lapses, and Chucky pushes Nika off her wheelchair and over a balcony onto the ground floor. When Nika asks why Chucky is doing this, he explains through flashbacks that as Charles Lee Ray, he was a friend of her family and he was obsessed with Sarah. Ray killed Nika's father and kidnapped Sarah while she was pregnant with Nika. Charles brings flowers to the kidnapped Sarah, which are the same sort of flowers that Sarah was shown compulsively painting. When Sarah betrayed him, he stabbed her in the stomach, which resulted in Nika being born paraplegic and escaped. Ray's flight from the police ultimately led to his death as a human, which is why he came back to Sarah for revenge. Now, for our ending and what have you, as always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid the ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Nika, after stalling by taunting him for his inability to kill his original nemesis, Andy Barkley manages to retreat into her elevator, disarm Chucky, and plunge the dagger into his torso, which does not exactly kill him. Officer Stanton, the same officer who found Father Frank's body, arrives at the house, knowing that it's where Father Frank spent his last hours, and he sees Nika holding the bloody knife near Barb's body. A motionless Chucky watches from a nearby chair. Sometime later, Nika is sent to a mental asylum for the criminally insane, and Chucky is retained by the police as an exhibit for her trial. Officer Stanton gets in his car and sees Chucky breathing in the back. Just before he opens the bag, Tiffany, who had been hiding in the back seat, slits his throat with a nail file. Tiffany collects Chucky and asks, "Who's next?" before closing the bag. She later goes to a packaging center to ship him off to a new victim. Meanwhile, Alice, now living with her grandmother, comes home from school to find Chucky waiting for her. Chucky persuades Alice to play hide the soul and starts the infamous voodoo chant to transfer his soul into Alice's body. The grandmother who Chucky has attacked but did not kill sits up silently, suffocating in a plastic bag during the chant. And that would be the end of the movie, but there's a post-credit scene set 6 months later. Chucky, still in his doll body, is delivered to Andy, now an adult. When Andy turns his back to answer a phone call from his mother, Chucky cuts his way out of the package with a knife. Chucky looks around the house only to have Andy point a shotgun at him. Andy tells Chucky, "Play with this," before shooting him in the head. End of story. So what did I think of Curse of Chucky? Well, since I've seen it, I think 2 or 3 times, I'm going to say this is a redemption for the Child's Play or Chucky franchise. I was impressed with this. I mean, I liked the dark tone of this and what have you, and bringing Chucky back to his original dark form and what have you. Now, of course, Brad Dourif returns as Chucky and Charles Lee Ray in the flashbacks. Now, of course, playing Nika is Brad's own daughter, Fiona Dourif. Playing Barb is Danielle Basutti. Ian is played by Brennan Elliott. Jill is played by Maitland McConnell. Sarah is played by Chantal Quesnel. A. Martinez, I think I've heard that name before. I can't remember. As Farrah Frank and Summer H. Howell as Alice. Jennifer Tilly makes a return as Tiffany in her appearance, and a now grown-up Alex Vincent returns as Andy Barkley. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The rest I'm going to say was just, well, not much to know, but you do see a little bit of footage of seeing characters from, actors and their characters from previous films. Well, I'm gonna still say Brad Dourif stole the show as Chucky, but I'm going to give credit to his Fiona for doing such an exceptionally good job. I was really impressed. But the rest of the cast, well, they were okay, but their characters were kind of a hit or miss and what have you. But we're still factually okay. The film still got a pretty reasonable response and what have you, unlike the last few movies. This film kind of got better response for the first time since Child's Play 2, which even though that was received with mixed reviews. Anyway, Dom Mancini's direction and what have you, that was really good. Joseph LaDuca's score wasn't too bad. Anyway, and some of the kills weren't too bad. I do think the kill of let me see here. Oh yeah, Barb's kill. That was a pretty shocking one. That was a pretty good kill. And the rest kills, well, they weren't too bad. Not quite that great like what you get from any other Child's Play flick, but they come pretty close though. Anyway, now the strangest aspect I'd have which is a slight downside for me, is the affair between Barb and Jill. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even believe this. The first time I've ever encountered this in a Child's Play movie. Oh wow, yeah. Nika's own sister having an affair with the nanny her own daughter, Alice. Oh yeah. Well, Alice was an okay character. She was still kind of like the way Andy was in the first movie. I kind of didn't mean to laugh at one bit when we see her again, and well, Chucky has to do something, says a bad word. She's like, Chucky, stop cursing. Really, I didn't mean to laugh. Like I said, I didn't mean to laugh, but well. You know the story. But anyway, with all that said, would I recommend Curse of Chucky? Well, I would say hell yeah. This is definitely worth a watch. So I think if you skip Seed of Chucky, if you weren't too thrilled with that, then go with this one next after Bride of Chucky. Or I don't know, unless you're a hardcore completionist, like I said. But anyway, Curse of Chucky, it's a pretty good movie, and I do like it. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on Curse of Chucky? You can tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And before I finish this, I've got a special announcement. You will be getting some live streams real soon, because I've decided to do one this Saturday night, and it'll be the original Final Destination. I've decided to do a Final Destination live stream this Saturday night at 8 o'clock Central Time, okay? I'm going to go ahead and just giving you the details, so be ready for it, okay? Alright, thanks for watching and enjoying this, and join me next time when I bring to you a review of Cult of Chucky, which will be my final Chucky review. Again, I am not re-reviewing the remake, I'm just doing the original Chucky's, because tomorrow's the big day. The Chucky TV series premiere on USA and Sci-Fi. Okay, that about covers it. Let's get this done. If you like this video, consider checking out some of these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of a really good redemption film, that being Wes Craven's New Nightmare from 1994, or go to the upper right hand corner and see my review of another film that kind of was a factual redemption ways. Okay, I'm just blaming a good redemption, which is my review of Halloween 2018. Now, I was going to re-review that, but I said the hell with it. I'll re-review it another day, since Halloween Kills is coming out this Friday. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review for another type of scary movie, and that being in the form of the second and only other film of the Black Vampire himself in Scream Blackula Scream. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.